Remember, when we were a child, we were often being told to write in a ruled paper. Why? Because in that way your text get aligned. The same concept is being followed when you design an interface for a screen. For that purpose, we used a grid system. Now, what is a grid system and how they are applied to a screen? Let's understand that in this video. First thing first, let's understand what is a grid system. Grid system is a framework that allows one to understand where to place the elements on a screen. It comprises of lines, both vertical and horizontal, so that a designer gets a sense of understanding where to place the elements such as the buttons, the text, the images on a screen. Talking about the origin of the grid system has been a part of our life from the ancient times. Like if you see, the manuscripts are also being written with the help of a grid system to get a proper alignment of the text. Also, during the Renaissance era, the artists tried to get a perfect geometry in their paintings. They used the grid system for that purpose. Then, the newspapers were also being made with the help of a grid system. Nowadays also, if you look around, most of the things are being made with the help of a grid system or being inspired by the grid system. For instance, the bookshelf where you put up your books is also being inspired by the grid. Secondly, the Excel sheet where you fill up your data are also being inspired by the grid. Now, talking about the components of a grid system, the first one is the column grid. It is the most commonly used grid system. It is a vertical line that you see on a screen. The second one is a gutter. Gutter are the white space that you see in between the columns. It gives a visual separation and a breathing room between the elements so that the elements doesn't collide with each other and have a consistent space in between them. The third one is the margin. Margin are the white space that you see edges of the screen. If you see a photograph, you might see the white space. That is called the margin. Here are some of the most commonly used grid systems. Number one is the baseline grid system. Remember, while starting this video, I gave you an example of a ruled paper. That is an example of the baseline grid. Often the baseline grid are combined with the column grid to get a proper defining effect. The baseline grid are often used to align the text. The next one is the column grid system. It is the most widely used grid system. So these are a combination of the vertical lines on a screen. For instance, if you are designing for a website, you might be using a 12 column grid or 8 column grid for a tablet or 4 column grid for a mobile. The third one is the modular grid. A modular grid involves taking a column grid and adding rows to it. The intersecting rows and columns create modules that are used to govern the layout. The e-commerce sites, magazines, they all use the modular grid. The fourth one is the manuscript grid. The manuscript grid is a one-column grid that simply determines where the text will sit in the page.